Hello everyone, my name is Chewy. So I'm continuing on the series of this dieting fat loss with by understanding what is our type from a Chinese medicine perspective. Okay, so I realized that I didn't on the setting earlier on, so the voice quality is not as good, so I apologize for that. So I hope this video will be of much better sound quality. Okay, so we have talked about the first type, the other in the first video. So it's caused by the stagnant qi and blood. The very signature symptom is that the stomach will have a balloon-like sound, and this is really very effective recipe. I can really tell you, I've tried it myself for a few times when I'm moody, I'm not in very good mood, and my stomach got bloated because of the tea being trapped inside. And this pepper, lemon and red sugar drinks really work, and it's very helpful to get rid of the lipids and fat in our bloodstream. So please do try it if you have, especially if you have bloated stomach and if you have this weight issue. Okay, the second type that we will talk about is if you have this heaty dampness. Okay, heaty dampness is actually one of the very common situation because for younger people, because the person will tend to eat a lot, drink a lot, and have lots of pimples. Of course, if you are older, then you wouldn't have this problem. If let's say you are like 20 plus or 10, about 18, those age, of course you expect a lot more pimples. And people like that will also feel thirsty very often because there's mainly heat trapped inside the body, and in TCM we call it it's something like a fake heatness. It's like a flame that is unstable. It's not really a big hot fire. So basically, and this heat is coupled with dampness. I mentioned before, dampness is something that is very often cited as a reason in TCM for fat. So when you have dampness in body, the person tends to be fat. And so this is the second category whereby the dampness is coupled with heat. Okay. So the third type is when you have dampness and you have phlegm, meaning that the dampness dampness is actually a kind of like water. It's actually water trapping in the body, and when it gets serious, it becomes phlegm. So people with phlegm dampness, very typically they will feel like they feel very heavy at their limbs, very difficult to walk. They feel the tiredness and heaviness in their hands and their legs, and they often feel very sleepy, like even in the morning, in the afternoon they will fall asleep easily. And also the heart will have some kind of pressure. The person could feel some pressure at the heart part, and in the more serious case, especially in older people, they will have a lot of phlegm because like we talk about this dampness and phlegm, there's this visually visible and visually not visible phlegm. So when it's serious, it becomes very visible. So usually people like that will have this more phlegms, and they are very susceptible to things like coughing and lungs issue. They are very easily, they catch flu easily, things like that. And because the dampness, the phlegm actually is a kind of lipids as well. It can be in the blood as well. So this kind of person will have high cholesterol, and also like we call it fat node under the skin layer, especially at the thighs, for example, and the tummy. This is not easy to ascertain. I mean, next time I will talk about a method called scraping quasar, and that is the method that can help us find out whether we have this kind of fat nodes under our body. Okay. The last type is the weak qi. That means the person has not enough qi, which is the energy flow in the body. And this one is very controversial. For people with the weak qi fatness, the big taboo is to reduce eating and exercise a lot. This is totally the wrong method for this type of people, as it will weaken them even more and they will get fatter. So for people with a weak qi, the typical characteristic is that their flesh will feel very soft. You know, when you touch the tummy, you can press in and the tummy will just go in, and it's very soft and not solid. And overall, the person will look like quite plump, but actually he or she can be not very heavy. It's just the look of it feels like very loose meat kind of feeling. And for Chinese medicine, when you have a weak qi, your sweat cannot be held, and this kind of people will sweat very easily because your body is not strong enough to properly hold your sweat. Of course, for Western medicine, I think that the concept is that sweating is very good for the body, but for TCM, there's actually a balance of it. Too much sweating is actually an indication of very weak qi of the body, and it's not good because the sweat and the blood actually is of the same origin. We call it same origin. It actually both uses some kind of water liquid of the body and same nutrients as a constituents. So actually for TCM, when the sweating is too much, it signifies problem in the body as well. So these are the 4 main types of reason that one can get fat. And we have to understand our type so as to solve the problem properly. So I will share about some food recipe in the subsequent episodes. Thank you.